Hello friends, I'm back with another Average Joe flashlight review, and I have some really exciting news. A lot of you probably know that I've really kind of been on a search for the perfect flashlight for me, and have some very specific criteria that I was looking for. It needed to have, at one time I thought I needed the flashlight with just a tail switch, but recently I had the Acebeam TK18, and realized after having that for a little bit that I really like a flashlight with a dual switch. So it gives you the ability to get to the tail switch quickly if you need to, and then also it's nice if you're carrying something out to the car. If you got the kids or whatever, you can easily carry it this way. So I love the fact that this light has a dual switch. Now, this is the Acebeam EC35 Gen 2, so that's the light that I'm going to be talking about today. But some other criteria that I specifically needed was the ability to access turbo very quickly, either from the off position or from any other mode, because I think that's super important, especially if you're using it for a crap hits the fan scenario where you get attacked or something. There's some kind of an emergency and you're not thinking clearly. You need to be able to get to your turbo very quickly. That's your brightest setting. So I needed that. And then of course, also I really was preferring something in a neutral color. So I looked and looked, and then finally my friends on Reddit came through and suggested the Acebeam EC35, which the important thing to remember is that this light actually stock comes with it is a Samsung LED on this light, and because of that, it's a very cool white. It's probably 6500K. It normally has a Samsung LH351D LED. And so because of that, it's usually a very cool white. However, my friends on Reddit recommended a custom edition that is available through Killzone flashlights, and I'll put the link in the description. But that's available through Killzone flashlights, where you can actually get this light with a couple of different options. You can get the NICHIA 219C, which is a 5000K, sort of a neutral white, and they even have it, they're out of stock last time I checked, but they have some more coming in with the SST20, which is a 4000K, which is even a little warmer if you want to go more on the other side of the spectrum. So I've been fooling around with it a pretty good bit. I got it today and completely fully charged it. So far, I really love this light a lot. It has, honestly, it has everything that I possibly want. And the thing is, I usually get a flashlight and I'll think that and I'll carry it around for like a week or two, and then I'll realize that it's not exactly, which is what happened with the Acebeam TK18. It turned out to be much floodier, and I just didn't really find the tail switch to be very. I didn't find it to be very practical just for your everyday use, because like I said, you can't, if you're holding your light like this and you suddenly need to go to turbo, if you have just a tail switch light, there's no way. You have to move it around like this, and who wants to carry their flashlight all the time like this, like you're about to raid somebody's house? So it's handy to have a dual switch. So just going to give you a couple of details about this light. Again, if you're a statistic junkie or like a spec junkie, probably not going to give you everything you want to know about this, but then I want to compare this to the ThruNite TN12 version 4, which I have, and then also maybe just do some beam shots comparing it to the M1X Striker from Olight, because these are all very similar lights. So this light, the advertised top lumen is 1100 lumens, but with the NICHIA emitter in it, you're probably only get maybe 950 or 1000, but the throw on this thing is fantastic, and the color is amazing. So I can tell you that you're not really going to notice a lot of difference. My favorite go-to light before this was the ThruNite TC15, but as you can see, it only has a side switch, but it's like over 2000 lumens. I kind of wish this light was that bright, but it's fantastic just for what it is. So with this, you would have like around 1000 lumens on turbo, then high at 390, your mid at 160, low at 16 lumens, and it does have a half a lumen moonlight mode. It's very practical. The only thing I don't like about it is these pocket clips on these lights are just, to me, they're kind of ridiculous. Like, it needs to be a little bit deeper, because this much of the light is sticking up out of your pocket. So I have found that the Army Tech Wizard clip, I think, will fit this. I saw a picture of it attached to the TN12, so pretty sure it'll fit this one too. So I'll just show you a couple quick things. First of all, tail light. the tail switch is basically your turbo. So when you hit the tail switch, it only goes to turbo, and you have a choice of momentary on, or you can leave it on. It does have an indicator, a power indicator, which I think is great. I like the fact that this indicator also flashes while it's charging, and depending on how many flashes it does, will also let you know what percentage it's charged. So I think that's kind of cool. I don't have another light that does that. But your tail switch, it accesses all your modes. You got your moonlight, low, medium, high, double click to go to turbo, which is great. So if you are carrying the groceries to the car or something in the dark parking lot, and you're carrying it like this, you can still easily get the turbo. So that's fantastic. And then if you triple click, you got the strobe also. So it's got all your standard modes. It's fantastic. It's got a little bit of a strike bezel here. Not quite what you would see with the M1X Striker, but it's certainly more than something like the TN12. So one really interesting thing about this flashlight, it does use a USB-C charger, which is, that's great. It's more modern technology. And then one thing that's really interesting is if you use the proprietary cable in the box, you can actually charge other devices from this flashlight. So you can charge your phone from it, which, obviously you'd probably never really do that in any real practical situation. But if something happened and you needed it, you had to have that cable with you, then it'd be great. So I'll show you, this is kind of crazy. The TN12 and this light, they're almost the same light if you look at it. They look almost exactly the same. The pocket clip is even that same exact stock pocket clip. The tail switches look basically exactly the same, and they're exactly the same size. So really, ThruNite could have basically had this same exact light if they had just put a little more thought into the form and function. The issue with this is that there is absolutely no way to get to the direct turbo mode. You have to cycle through the lights, and then it also has that crazy drop down mode where if you let it sit for a minute and then let's say you think, oh, I'm going to go to the next level. Well, you're really not. You're going down to the back to moonlight again. Oh, let me start over. So anyway, I hate that about this light. Otherwise, this would really be the same light, very similar light as this. Some folks have said that the button is fairly flush, and it is. But again, since you have that option for the tail light turbo, you're not going to be in a position where that button being flush is really going to be a problem. So, but from a color temperature standpoint, let me see if you can see with this and being in the room, the comparison between it and, so that is your, sorry, my camera's going crazy. What I really wanted you to see was just comparing this to the super cool light of the Olight. There you can kind of see, this is really white. I know this table is like a walnut, sort of a brown table, so you can't really see it, but I'm going to do some beam shots in a minute. It's pouring down rain here in Alabama where I live, so I'm probably going to do beam shots tomorrow. But I thought I would go ahead and just run the first part of the video over here for you, just to take a look, and I appreciate your time. We'll go ahead and pause this and take you outside and show you some of the beam shots. Thanks. Okay, so we're outside, and it's actually a couple of days later than whenever I made that first video because of the fact that it won't stop raining. So, but it has finally stopped raining enough for me to do some beam shots outside for you guys. So we'll start off with the Acebeam EC35 second generation. So let me go ahead and start with moonlight, which you really won't be able to see out here. This is level 1, level 2, level 3. Oh, oops. Level 3 and turbo. So this thing has a fantastic spot, and just a really clear beam to it. Fantastic. It does throw really, really well. So, and it has a fantastic also color temperature to it. Those woods are like 50, 60 feet away, I think. Alright. So let's move on over to, this is the Olight M1X Striker. We'll go through the same with it. We'll start with Moonlight, Mode 1, Mode 2, Level 3. Now you can see with this one, I don't know if you can tell very well in the video or not, but it's a lot cooler temperature light for sure, you know, and it's a little floodier. And then you can also go to turbo on that one. So it's still a pretty solid light, but it definitely doesn't have the throw, and it's certainly a lot cooler. So just to compare a cool light for you, let me go back down to hang on, let's see, 1, 2. So I'll take the, just to kind of compare the difference. So that is your M1X Striker, EC35. And I don't think the camera is picking up on all of the spot, because I see in the camera that it really is showing, like for example, like on that barrel, that's all I see in the camera, but there's a pretty wide area there all around. It's really not as spotty as you might think just based on this video. But M1X Striker, bam. And then this is, now here is a turbo EC35. Turbo for the M1X Striker. Turbo for the EC35. And one more M1X Striker. And just to kind of compare, I want to compare with you the Through Night TN12. That is another very warm light, the Through Night TN12. This is the version 4. This is the slightly newer version of the TN12. So this is a warmer light, I think, than the Acebeam is. But that's turbo on that light. It really has a pretty solid beam profile. It actually would be a really good light if the user interface was a little better. Turbo. So there's your Acebeam. Through Night TN12. Acebeam. So the Acebeam's a little cooler. I don't know if you can tell. So you got your Acebeam on the right and your TN12 on the left. Acebeam's a little cooler, and I would say definitely more spottier, but they're similar lights in terms of just the overall beam profile. Let me just pause this just 1 second. I'm not going to do any more shots of the other Through Night, the TC12. That was just to sort of compare the color temp for you. So I just want to quickly compare a cool M1X Striker that's about 1,000 lumens to this EC35 Gen 2, just to sort of give you an idea. So this tree here, now I don't know how well you can see it even in the video. Like with the Olight, it's fairly floody. It doesn't have the spot, I don't think, to really get to the top that well. Let me see. But you can really see the difference. So, but again, cool temperature light. That fence is not very far away, but that tree is a long way away. So what I'm wanting you to see here is just the difference between a floodier, cool light and the EC35 with the NICHIA 219C in it. That's this light. And again, I hope you can pick up on it in the video, but you can really see all the way to the top of that tree. The throw is fantastic. And then just to sort of give you like an idea, of course, again, the beam is a lot warmer color. So that's on turbo. If I drop it to even even on your, I don't know if you can see it really well, but that's I think that might be low. Let's see. There's the next level up. Yeah, so that first one was low. This is actually high. So low, as you can see, is a pretty solid beam profile. You turn around here and see the fence over there, table and chairs. So that's medium. Medium is plenty bright enough for seeing fairly far away. So I'm going to pause it one more time. Okay, and this will be the last thing I'll do. So this is your M1X striker with, this is probably about 9 feet away from the side of that house. Now my house is a beige color, so that's not a white vinyl, but just to give you an idea. That's mode, the second level on the M1X striker. Alright, and this is the EC35 Gen 2 with the NICHIA 219C emitter. I think you can really see the difference between those two light colors too. You can really see it well at first, and then the camera adjusts. But anyway, so this is your, there we go, it's freaking out a little bit. That's the Acebeam. And that is the M1X striker. Anyway, so I hope you guys will get something out of this. I know the M1X striker is it's kind of an older light, but my goal there was just to kind of give you an idea of the you know, the beam profile of the NICHIA 219C, the color temperature of this light, really in context versus like a cooler LED. So I love this light a lot. I just kind of want to stand out here and just shine it at the woods. But my neighbor's dog is freaking out. So hope y'all enjoy this. Have a great night. I will put a link in the description of where you can get this light, and I believe that the SST20, I think the SST version I heard is back in stock on Killzone, the website. So if it's not yet, it will be shortly. They have fantastic customer service, and I've really enjoyed you know, this light so far, and hopefully you guys will find that it's something that will work for you. So thanks and have a great night.